Hello, thank you for joining me for this tutorial on learning the negative stitch. This is the first section of the gingerbread cow, and if you're watching this video, hopefully you bought the ebook that includes all of these little triangle bits that are the negative stitch bits. Okay, if you did not purchase it and you would like to, I got the link below. And also, if you did not have this chart, but you have this chart that doesn't have the triangles, watch this other video because it'll make more sense to you. But this is the upgraded version that has these triangle bits. Okay, so we are going to learn how to do the negative stitch. And here on this chart, I have connotated this triangle piece, upside down triangle, as the negative stitch. If you're watching this video, I please hope that you already know how to do overlay mosaic crochet. If you do not, please watch the basics of overlay mosaic crochet. And in that video, I walk through all of these symbols, but there's something new about this chart is I have this triangle, this negative stitch, okay? So when you look at the chart here, you see negative stitches here. You'll notice that all of these negative stitches are above X's, okay? Because that is where you work your negative stitch. We're going to work our X's the same as we usually do. We're going to work our blank boxes the same as we usually do. But whenever you see this symbol, you work the negative stitch. I have gone ahead and I've already made up the first 3 rows because there are no negative stitches in the first 3 rows. This is just the basic overlay mosaic crochet. Now we're ready to start with row 4 and start right away with the negative stitch. Okay? So I start it like normal by doing a slip stitch, insert my hook. Okay, I do my beginning border stitch. We start right away with this negative stitch, okay? So we got to learn first thing, we got a triangle here, that means the negative stitch. Our negative stitches, like I said, are above the X's. And what we're going to do is just work a back loop only single crochet, but with a little twist, okay? So we're going to find the back loop of this. It's an X, right? So we got a double crochet, find the back loop only of that double crochet, go through. If we weren't doing the negative stitch, we would just do a single crochet here, right? Instead, we're going to kind of flip it backwards and find the back loop of the brown back loop that's left over. So now we have color A and color B back loops on our hook. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through just the brown, okay? Pull through the first loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops. Okay, so here we have, it looks like a double crochet up in the front, but in the back it's kind of extended a little bit, and that is to kind of mimic this double crochet here. It's not quite the same as a double crochet. I know that other crocheters like to use a negative stitch that is more of a double crochet, and I will say it uses about twice the amount of yarn as you would if you weren't using the negative stitch at all. So that's a lot of yarn. It'll be a heavy blanket, so I like to do it this way to make the blanket a little skinnier. It uses less yarn, not as heavy. It'll still be plenty heavy, but it uses a bit less yarn, okay? And you'll still have the reverse image. It'll just be a little different texture on the back than on the front. All right, we just did our first negative stitch. If that didn't make sense, we have a bunch more negative stitches on this row, and that'll help you out. Okay, so negative stitch, then we have this X. So that's a front loop only, double crochet. Nothing new here. Then we have 2 negative stitches. Okay, they're above X's. We see our triangles. So insert your hook through the back loop, then flip your work upside down a little bit, find the back loop there in brown. So we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through that first loop. Yarn over, pull through those 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Okay, again, negative stitch. Insert your hook through the back loop, flip it up, back loop down below, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, pull through the 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Get it? Here we have a blank box. That is a back loop only single crochet, just like we've done if we're doing just regular mosaic crochet. There's no X below, so we know it's just a back loop only single crochet. Now we have 2 more negative stitches. Another negative stitch. An X, front loop only double crochet. And a negative stitch. Okay, fasten off. There we go. Okay, that's row 4. Here's what it looks like in the front, and here's what it looks like in the back. You can see it's already different than just a regular overlay mosaic crochet pattern, which just looks like stripes all the way across the back. Here you can see there's definitely some texture, definitely some different images showing through. I'm going to show you row 5 just so we can get the hang of it, and then I will turn you loose to do the rest. Okay, so grab your color A. Okay, do your beginning border stitch. Then we have an X here. Okay, we're not going to do anything special with it. Even if it's above a negative stitch, who cares? You just do a regular front loop only double crochet. Doesn't change anything. Then after that stitch, we have a negative stitch, right? So it's above an X, negative stitch. So you go through back loop, flip it up, find that white back loop that's hanging out. Yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Get it? Are we getting the negative stitch so far? If not, leave a comment below, and I'll try to answer it as soon as possible. So here's 2 regular back loop only single crochets. Again, it's above a negative stitch, but we don't really care about that. We're just going to do a regular back loop only single crochet. Okay, so the only time we're ever going to get our little panties in a bunch are if we have a negative stitch, and then we're going to do things differently. Here we have an X. I'm going to go through this white here. All right, X, then back loop only single crochet, 2 of those. Okay, then we have, I hesitated because I was going to do another back loop only single crochet, but I realized, nope, I have an X there, I have a double crochet there, so that's a negative stitch, okay? Negative stitch, you go through the back loop, flip it up, find that white back loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we have our final X. And our ending border stitch. Clear as mud? I hope so. Fasten it off. Okay, I'm going to let you work up the rest of the chart, practice this negative stitch. And there you have it. Now, generally, This front looks right all the way across, and then when we flip it to the back, it matches as well. So we got our white, white, brown, brown, and then the pattern, white, white, pattern in the middle. Okay. If you don't like this flap that appears here, just know that in the next rows you can use my anchor stitch tutorial to help you out a bit with that. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. You can do whatever you want with these ends. You can weave them all in, you can leave them out, you can do a twisted fringe. But for the gingerbread cow, I'm going to be doing an envelope border, so I'm just going to leave these out until the end.